Today we're going to be talking about the 5 fundamentals of boxing, which if you're doing consistently, it's almost guaranteed you're going to improve your boxing skill. Now, I'm Cody from Ring Ready Boxing. I'm an amateur boxer myself and I teach boxing online. Also help my younger brother Kenzie, who has made it to top 2 in the country in his division. He's 14 years old as I make this video, and he managed to make it into the top 2 in the country in his weight class. So I'm here to help you show how you can get better at boxing through these 5 fundamentals and guarantee your improvement. So I've got the whiteboard with the hidden 5 fundamentals. Are you ready for the first one? The first one we've got running. As much as we hate road work and as much as you hate running, you need to make sure that you're doing it, because this is such an easy way to get fit for boxing. There's no better way to get boxing fit through good road work. And this can consist of sprints, hill sprints, interval training, and short distance, high intensity runs. If you're boxing at an amateur level and you're only doing 3 rounds, then running should not be doing long 5Ks or long 10K runs. It should be short, sharp bursts to ensure you're replicating what you do in the ring. Because if you do a 10K run and that takes you, let's say 45, 50 minutes, whatever it may be, you might be quicker, you might be slower, but you're not running at that steady state in the ring. You're doing 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds. That's not much work. That's literally 6 minutes of work. It's not much at all. So you need to get comfortable being in that high heart rate zone, as amateur boxing is more of a sprint. Fundamental number 2, let's take a look. Bags and pads. So bag work and pad work is super important. Bag work, firstly, you can be a bit more creative. It's a way to strengthen your technique, your shots, and it lets you free flow and lets you get creative. So obviously we've got the bag here. I'm not going to hit as the whiteboard is leaning against it. But the bag is a great way to allow you to let your hands go, get fit, get stronger, work on your technique. But also pad work as well is a similar sort of thing, except it's led by someone else. So having someone holding pads and being a target can allow you to work on your distance, your footwork, and all sorts, different techniques, whatever it may be. But that is definitely a fundamental in boxing that you should be working on. Fundamental number 3, let's take a look. Get the tape off. Shadow boxing. So shadow boxing is definitely an important one. Similar to the bag, it allows you to be creative. But one thing I love about shadow boxing is that if you slow it down and do things properly, it won't affect your fitness, and you can do so much work on your technique, good habits, and actually work on new things without getting hurt for it and without taking punishment for it like you would in a fight or in sparring. In shadow boxing, you can do it anywhere, all the time. You've got no reason not to shadow box, right? All champions, all pro boxers, I'm pretty certain that they all shadow box. Pretty certain. If you can give me one exception, I'd be quite impressed. But we all shadow box, or you should do anyway, as this is such an easy way to improve your boxing quick. Moving on to fundamental number 4. We've got drills. Now, drills are important, especially partner drills, because I won't tell you what the fifth fundamental is, but before the 5th fundamental, drills is probably the closest thing you're going to get to that. So drills are really important because you can work on certain sequences, combinations, defense, footwork, whatever it may be that you're drilling. You can literally fix any mistakes you have using drills. If you struggle to keep your feet balanced, you got drills to fix that. If you struggle to throw your jab a certain way, you got drills to fix that. If you want to work on your defense, use drills. Partner drills especially are super important because they're a bit more real, bit more in time, and you can make it faster, you can slow it down if you need to, but you've got to be drilling things day in, day out if you want to guarantee improvement for your boxing. The more you're drilling, the better you're going to get. Coming in at number 5, we have got, get the tape off again, sparring. Now this is possibly everyone's favourite. Getting in and sparring is fun, it is thrilling, it can be quite nerve-wracking at times, but this is where you can take all the things you've been working on, so your drills, shadow boxing, bags, pads, and running, into the ring to actually utilise that training you've been doing. Sparring is a great way to let your hands go and actually make it real, because if you're in a boxing match or boxing fight, well, someone is going to try and hit you in the face, unfortunately. So that's one thing running doesn't teach you. Running will help you get fit, but it doesn't teach how to get hit in the face. Bags and pads, again, the bag doesn't hit back, so you can get comfortable on it. Pads, you can have someone hit back to an extent, but it's not like sparring or fighting. Sparring is where you really sharpen up your skill. Now, that doesn't mean hard sparring and trying to knock your sparring partner out or them trying to knock you out. I think sparring should be 60-70% most of the time, maybe even 80%. Around fights, you obviously up it. If you go to other gyms, you up the pace with sparring and you go harder. But it should not be about knocking each other out, because that is not good for your head long term. But the more regularly you spar, the better. But again, the downside is you can't spar every day. It's a lot on the body. It's a lot of impact to the head as well. So if you could spar every day and get away with not having any damage, great. I would say you could get away with just sparring and forget everything else. You could probably just spar and get really good. But you shouldn't spar every day. Maybe 2 to 3 times a week, if that. Depends if you've got fights coming up or not. But sparring is a great way to improve as you're doing things in real time. Now, they're the 5 fundamentals of boxing, which if you're doing properly, I guarantee you can improve. As the modern era of boxing is coming in and social media is a thing, you do see a lot of silly drills and weird things which boxers were not doing years ago. And these are the 5 fundamentals of boxing which are actually going to help you improve, which have been going for years. But that will be the end of the video. I'm Cody from Ring Ready Boxing. If you've enjoyed this one today, if you found it useful, please subscribe and drop a comment what sort of videos you want to see in the future. But I also have a free shadow boxing guide if you want to learn how to shadow box better, especially if you're more of a beginner or an amateur level. This shadow boxing guide will really help you. So check the link in the description, as I'll link it there so you can go grab it completely for free. But otherwise, subscribe, like the video, drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.